What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG's back. Just transfer deadline stream just to end things off. Thought there might have been something activities going on earlier on, but obviously nothing's really happened for us today besides Llorente formally leaving. And yeah, listen, we'll get into it and just touch on a few other bits of news around the transfer deadline day today. Before I start, obviously, please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and of course, afterwards, drop your comments on the video. Let's have a look. Stevie C saying, I've not been this excited about a squad of players since the O'Leary days, marching on together. Yeah, facts. Yeah. It's definitely the most talented squad we've had since then. I don't know if it's a comparable. Obviously, they did some amazing things at the time, but obviously, when you talk about quality and looking forward to seeing the team play, yeah, this is definitely the best squad we've had since. Most definitely. Our stripper. Oh no, sorry, not stripper. Our stripper. Good and bad news. The good Llorente is gone. Bad news. It's a loan deal. Yeah, and just to clarify now, obviously Llorente said his goodbyes today. It is a loan deal, and there's an £18 million option. It's not an obligation to buy, so Roma don't have to fully purchase him. But you've got to think if he's gone out on loan, that he will be moved on in the summer. I don't see him coming back into the team next season. So whether Roma take up the option or not, I think that this is the end for Llorente at Leeds United. And, you know, he said his goodbye on social media today. And good luck to him, man. Good luck to him with Jose Mourinho. You know, this isn't going to be the last time I mention Jose Mourinho today because he's a part of the whole Zaniolo thing. So, yeah, good luck to Llorente. And listen, good piece of business for Leeds, especially if we can get 18 million for him. You know what I mean? Caspadinho, tremendous. Hello there, handsome. Lovely. Wayne saying, I'm actually looking forward to a game of football for the first time in ages. Still nervous though. I think we're always going to have that nervous feeling. Obviously, we need to see how these players perform. You know, I got told that when I was hyping up McKennie today, and I hope everyone's taking in the McKennie socials and the interview on Sky Sports News. You know what? You know, it seems like he's going to be one hell of a character here. So it's going to be good to see him get going, but obviously we don't know how these guys are going to fit. But we've got the pieces in to try and make it fit, and that's the main thing. I've got confidence that it is going to work. But we're going to talk about all of that on tomorrow's stream. So join me tomorrow as well. LUFC Luff saying, if Gordon went to Newcastle for 45, how much must Willie be worth? Listen, he's worth more than that. I mean, if you're talking, let's just say a club came up to us and said, we want Willie Gnonto, and Gnonto wanted to go, yeah, you're paying way more than 45 million for Willie Gnonto. He's a much better player than Anthony Gordon, not even close either. Like in just a small sample size, you can see what Willie Gnonto is going to be about now and in the future. So yeah, listen, we've definitely got our return on that whenever that happens. But hopefully he stays with us and helps us carry up the league throughout the seasons. That's the goal. Acton Dave, it's awesome not to hear Ken, Che Adams, and O'Brien. Listen, yeah, I mean, it's really funny with some of these names that like people used to pine for. But I mean, Che Adams today, I mean, we're talking about people around us, and in that mini league, Everton are there. Everton wanted to get Che Adams. So we're signing a talent that's got unlimited potential in Jorginho. And Everton are trying to go back to the well of the proven Premier League player in Che Adams to go with Mope. Imagine that as a strike force. And don't they still have Rondon? I think they still have Rondon, don't they? But that's what I'm saying. So you try and buy these kind of players, it kind of tells you where you want to be in the league. And it tells me that Everton are just looking to survive, and that is it. Imagine starting your game with Mope and Che Adams up front. You might as well not start with strikers. You may as well not start with strikers. But that's what I'm saying. Everton at the moment, you know, again, talking about teams around us, they're starving for transfers. You know, as I record this, there's almost 3 hours left. So, yeah, Stephen Flood, there's almost 3 hours left, and Everton haven't brought no one in but Sean Dyche. So they're probably relying on Sean Dyche to absolutely just get the ship in order and get them out the bottom three. We'll see if it works. It could work. Who knows? But I think they're playing a very, very risky game. Yeah, now UFC loves no Adama this window. Yeah, none of those. None of those. John Haight saying Bournemouth and Wolves recruited well. Yeah, Wolves have done some good business. Got to say, I don't see Wolves staying down there too long. obviously the Wolves' problem is that they need to score goals, and we talk about the Premier League being one of the best leagues in the world. Wolves are such a boring team to watch. Like, I can't watch Wolves play too often because they just bore me to tears. But they have recruited well, and like I said earlier in the window on a previous stream, they also got out a player. They got in the summer. I think it was cost 28 million, and they've sent him out on loan because it hasn't worked out. So I rate the ruthlessness. They know what it's about to try and stay in the league. Um, Lewis saying we should have sold Jackie. Well, here we go. Let's talk about this because obviously, just before carry on, Carl Brown, Graham Randall, thank you for your super thanks on the last video. Much appreciate the donations, fellas. But yeah, let's talk about the Jack Harrison, and I guess Nicolo Zaniolo comes in with it. So we'll talk about the two. Because a couple of you guys mentioned that the Zaniolo link was there yesterday, but I didn't see it from anybody that I trusted. So I waited until I saw it, and lo and behold, DiMarzio put it down that we were interested in him. We had a bid. What was it? A loan? Let me just get the information. Yeah, a loan. It was a loan offer. Roma rejected it, and they wanted a straight payment of 27.5 million plus a 10% future resale. But that relied on Jack Harrison going to Leicester. Now it looks like, I mean, there's less than 3 hours to go, but to me, I think Jack Harrison stays, and by all accounts and indications, it looks like Jack Harrison's going to stay. But it looks like it was going to be, if Harrison was to leave for Leicester, that we would get Zaniolo in. Now Zaniolo has got himself in a little bit of a pickle, um, because he was offered, I mean, Bournemouth offered a way better deal than we did, by the way. I think they offered up 30 million euros for him, but he rejected it straight away. He had no interest in going to Bournemouth. I think he knew of the interest of Leeds and fancied that more. But obviously, we couldn't get the deal done. And then he went back to Bournemouth overnight, in the night, I think, and he tried. He tried to reignite that move. All of a sudden, saying, Bournemouth, hey, um, I know I said no and everything, but would you take me back? And Bournemouth said, because they moved on and they got in other players. So now Zaniolo is having to stay at Roma. And listen, he's with Jose Mourinho, who said, and I quote, unfortunately, Zaniolo has had to train with us again. And Jose Mourinho, when he falls out with you, it's over. It's over. So, and I just want to make it clear as well. I don't put that down to like an attitude problem with Zaniolo or anything. Players and managers can fall out for whatever reason. So obviously they just a clash of heads there. It's not going to work for him there, but it looks like he's probably stuck at Roma for the rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, I hear AC Milan are interested too. And Gavin, yeah, Zaniolo has more injuries than Forshaw, and he does. Zaniolo, I remember this guy being highly touted in Italian media as being the next big thing, and he was a hot prospect. But then he got two cruciate ligament injuries. Hey, you gotta be careful with that. You know me, I don't like to look at players' injury histories too much, but when it's two cruciates, are players ever the same again? But if Leeds United had done their due diligence and said that no, this guy is fit, he would be coming into play. Because you got to think as well, Jack Harrison has been playing more centrally. Zaniolo does play out on the right, but he has been playing centrally, and he would have been more natural in that position. So maybe that's what they were looking at. Also with Jack Harrison as well. Um, also with Jack Harrison as well, he's got 18 months left on his deal, and you've got to think if he's not going to sign a new deal, then Leeds United would have to cash in. Now, it's so interesting with Jack Harrison, the various comments and thoughts that people have. My overriding feeling is that people want their cake and they want to eat it all, because it seems like, I know he scored the goal against Accrington Stanley, but people want more bodies in, and they also want to keep Jack Harrison, who's got 18 months left and hasn't signed a new deal yet. He may sign a new deal, but you've got to also think as well, he's 26 years old now. He's not ready to be a substitute. But where does he fit in this Leeds United team in the starting lineup? We're going to talk about that in a future stream. But I'm sure when you name your front three, Jack Harrison isn't in there. I would say 90% of people wouldn't name Jack Harrison in there in the starting lineup. So at this current point, he's a squad player, bench player, and I don't know if he's ready to do that at 26 years old. So now we're not going to get the fee that we probably want in January. So we may have to take a lesser fee come the summertime. But what we can't do, though, people, and I've got to make this clear, is that We can't let him go on a free. We've already done that with players. We've done it just this month with Mateus Click, where we should have sold him 2 years ago and probably got around 10 million, maybe more. He still had a bit of stock then, but we've let him go for free. We can't let Jack Harrison go for free next year. That can't happen. So the club do need to do something, whether it is timed out to a new contract or look to sell him in the summer. But for now, he remains on the bench. He remains in the squad. He remains a part of the team until the end of the season, and I guess they'll revisit in the summer unless he signs a new contract. I mean, what do people think about the whole Jack Harrison thing? Let me know in the comments now, and obviously after the video's done, please put it in the comments below, because I'm very interested, because I've seen so many mixed messages when it comes to Jack. Me personally, I'll give you my opinion straight away. If as we were going for another player in that position, although it was one where I wasn't 100% convinced, I would have been more than happy to see Jack Harrison go for the rumored price that Leeds wanted of 30 million, 30 to 40 million. I'd snap that off all day long, because I don't think that Jack Harrison going forward fits in this kind of Leeds United setup where players play with belief in their ability and not just on confidence. Let's have a look what people are saying. Alex saying we need to recoup a little cash somewhere. We do. We can't just keep on, and that's another thing as well. And Alex says it perfectly there. We can't just keep putting big outlays of money out and not recouping any money back. Because the funny thing is, people that if we ever do get into FFP trouble, it will be the same people that want to keep Jack Harrison, buy all these other players, and then we get in FFP trouble, and they say, well, why didn't Leeds handle the books better? You know, you've got to make choices and decisions, and I guess Leeds will have to do it in the summer. Robert Purnell saying a good manager would get more out of Jack. He's been the same since he's been here, Robert. He's been the same. He's been in and out. You can't just say it's the one manager. He's always been a confidence player. But I mean, hey, it's opinions. It's opinions. James saying sell him, balance the books, doesn't start 18 months and no sign of a new deal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. James, he could sign a new deal when the transfer window shuts. You know how these things go sometimes. They could have talked. And also, it's very interesting as well, because we knew of the Leicester interest, what, a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. If he really didn't want to go, if that option was completely locked off, he would have just said no weeks ago. So obviously there was a door open there in case Leicester ever did reach the bid. So it is interesting that Jack Harrison didn't just reject the move outright. I mean, you look at, Zaniolo to Bournemouth, no. Conor Gallagher to Everton, no, thank you. Players can do that. They don't always have to accept when the clubs have accepted the bid. So yeah, let's have a look. Matt Decor, tremendous. We have to keep Jack, cannot sell to another club like us that are near the bottom of the league. Jeff saying, I do like Jack centrally. I like him centrally too, Jeff. I think he's done better off the bench in totality, especially in the league. I think he's much better as a bench player rather than a starter, but that kind of goes to show with the quality that we've got there. For me, he doesn't get ahead of Nanto or Somerville or Sinistera. Not for me. But yeah, back onto Matt's comment here. The one thing I would say on this, especially if they're looking to, if just say Leicester did put in the bid of 30 million, for me, we've got our house in order this month. We don't need to look at other people's houses and go, I wonder what's going on in their garden. Oh, I bet have they got something new in their living room? We don't need to do that because we've sorted our house. It's literally on us to do what we need to do. So if they're willing to pay that kind of money for Jack Harrison, got to think 26, very inconsistent, in and out, inconsistent, not even an international. I think you'd have to take it. But I understand that some people don't want to see him because he could flourish at Leicester. He could. But we've got enough players here to help us get out of the bind that we're in. We've got more than enough here. So that's what I would say. WCY saying Jack's only issue is consistency. He has a great attitude. I would worry about selling him to a relegation rival unless we manage to fleece him. Yeah. And 30 million for me is fleecing them. I've got to be honest. I know that the market should say he'd probably be higher, but I think 30 million for Jack Harrison would be really good business. Even if Manchester City, if they do have a sell-on clause, get a portion of that, however much that is, I think 30 million for Jack Harrison with 18 months left on his deal, and he's not a regular starter, I think it's good. But yeah, I agree. He's got a brilliant attitude. You always see Jack trying to work on his game in the summer, doing different things. New York, LA, he goes everywhere to try and improve. But it matters about what happens on the pitch, and we've seen it. I mean, up until the last couple of weeks, since the last transfer window shut, he's been a ghost. He's been missing, hasn't he? So, but yeah, let's have a look. Shane, though, saying time to move him on. Upgrades needed. Yeah. Let's have a look. Jeremy saying, look at his form this season. That's why Newcastle haven't been backing for him. Usually his up and down performances, 8 to 10 goals a season. He's had no form or goals in the league. Yeah, I mean, listen, well, I mean, they've signed Anthony Gordon, who hasn't by any means pulled up any trees for Everton. Obviously, Anthony Gordon is a different profile of play. He's younger, so they probably think that they're going to get more out of him. But I hear what you're saying. Newcastle didn't come in, and Leicester, whether they don't have the money or not, didn't meet our asking price. So it was a no go. It was a no go. So um, let's have a look. Anthony saying, literally could listen to you talk all day, KG. Well, thank you. Thank you. Zach saying, didn't he officially deny Leicester's offer unless I missed something? Thought I saw that on the Leeds subreddit a bit ago. Yeah, I mean, there's different reports about him rejecting it today, saying that he doesn't want to go Leicester today. But my point is that he could have said that a week or two ago and just knocked it on the head straight away. So what I'm saying is that there was an opening of the door to say, if Leicester do bid for me and we accept it, I might want to go and talk to Brendan Rodgers and see what he wants to do with me, because he'll probably get more game time there than he will here overall. Stephen saying Harrison will probably go in the summer, but that would suit us. Yeah, I think it will. I think it's good for the squad for the rest of the season to keep him in the season if we're not going to get a replacement for sure. So for me, yeah, we'll definitely keep him and then revisit in the summer. But what I would say to people is don't expect 30 million in the summer, not with 12 months left on the deal. It's very, very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. I think you'll be probably lucky to get 20 by the summertime. So there's that. There is that. Let's have a look. Dan James, just to talk about Dan James very quickly. It looks like Fulham have signed Cedric on loan, but they are making Shane Duffy's move permanent from Brighton. So Dan James won't be coming back to Leeds. He will be staying at Fulham. So nobody needs to worry about that one. Sham saying Jack wants to stick around for our European charge. Yeah. Listen, we're going to talk about all that stuff tomorrow. Not European charge. Let's not get too carried away. But we're going to talk about things like that on tomorrow's stream, because we're going after the transfer window wraps up for everybody, we'll get our full thoughts and rate the window then tomorrow. So gives people a bit of time just to compare with other clubs and see where we go with our players now, and think about where your best 11 would be. I'll give it a thought too. LUFC Love saying, apart from Everton and Southampton, who else goes down? Bournemouth spent as well. I mean, yeah, Bournemouth have spent, and they've brought in a couple of good youngsters in there, but will it be enough? Will it be enough though for Bournemouth? We'll have to wait and see. I think it's going to be very tight, but like I say, with the team that we've assembled now, with the gaps that we've plugged, I'm not saying we're out of relegation scrap by all means, but I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay this season, and I just feel confident looking at Adams and McKennie just interacting yesterday. I mean, listen, if they get on the pitch as well as they do off it, we're laughing. We're absolutely laughing. Ian McIntosh though is saying we need to get Jack signed up to a new contract. Wow. Fair enough. I guess, Ian, it just matters in what Jack wants to do. Does he want to stay at a club where he's not guaranteed a starting place at 26 years old? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does. Let's have a look. Miles Orchard saying, subscribe this evening. Thank you. And anyone else that hasn't subscribed, please do. Love the measured delivery. For me, Jack gives everything in every match he plays. He doesn't always get it right. I think he's a fantastic squad player. Would love another centre back. We got our centre back. We replaced Diego with Diogo. So we'll see what he's about. Listen, I don't know anything about Diogo Montero, but if they've if our scouts have identified him as someone that can take the place of Llorente, who, let's face it, wasn't getting in the starting 11 anymore himself, then I'm good with it. I trust him enough to handle that. And if it works, we're laughing. 18-year-old with a lot of potential. Let's go. Let's go. It's better than Mason Holgate and all those guys that we were linked with earlier this month. I don't know if it was linked with by fans or local media. I'm just glad we didn't sign any of those dead players. Please, no. Please, no. Um, yeah, Tony T, McKennie and Adams, Crosby and Malkin. I love it. I love it. When you think about it, people, I want people to really think about this. If we started with a midfield three of Rucker, McKennie, Adams, that is better than Liverpool's midfield right now. Think about that. Fabinho is finito. He's done. He's done. Jordan Henderson, the headless chicken, he's done. James Milner has been done. Naby Keita, I mean, come on. We have got a better midfield than some of the supposed top clubs, and Liverpool being the one I mentioned. We have got so much potential in this team for it to go right. But I know people are saying we're Leeds United, so it's got the potential to go wrong. And I hear that. But I just feel like it's gonna go right. I do. I think we're gonna pick up, man. You guys aren't convinced with Rucker. Come on. Come on. AS is saying better than Tottenham's too. Listen, you know what? I was on Tobes' stream last night because you know those big six people, they only ever look at what big six clubs are doing. And he mentioned Bentancur as being this wholly great midfielder, not realizing that McKennie is the one that made Bentancur available for Tottenham to get. If McKennie wasn't there, Bentancur would probably still be at Juventus. Funny how these things work, isn't it? But hey, it's opinions, isn't it? It's opinions. Uh, Sly. Eighth place finish. You know what? Listen, we're going to go through all that tomorrow, okay? Because we're going to go into it in detail as well. Luis is saying, I don't understand the Rucker hate. He's been class for us. I think he's just the latest whipping boy, Luis, because he has had a couple of bad passes. But what you always have to understand with ball playing midfielders like him is that he will get a couple of passes wrong and he does get caught up the pitch. But that's why we've got McKennie in there for extra protection. Rucker has been more than fine for us. He's been more than fine. Would we like his form to get back up to where it was at the start of the season? Of course. But that will come. That will come. And listen, we paid 10 million for him. What was you expecting? What was you expecting? And Jay Smith here, Mark Rucker is one of the most progressive footballers in the Premier League. Yeah, he is. I'm not really a big stats guy, as you guys know, but he is. He's one of the better passers of the ball in the league. So let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing with this new midfield coming in, man. It's all looking up, man. It's all looking up. Wayne Poppleton saying Rucker is a fantastic footballer. So many new little nuances every time he gets the ball. He's made a couple of errors, but so have most players. Exactly. He's not alone. He's certainly not alone with that. Just another thing. I think, like I say, I think business is done for us. But Charlie Creswell, keep an eye out for that one. I think he may be recalled. If he's not, he's going to stay at Millwall for the rest of the season. So that doesn't matter. But Stoke did sell Harry Suter to Leicester. So now they're looking for a centre back, and I think Stoke want to get Charlie Creswell in, as well as a couple of other Championship clubs. So that will be one to look out for. And I know some people want Charlie Creswell to come back in the squad, but for me, I think he goes back out on loan or stays on loan at Millwall, and then goes back out on loan in the summer as well. I would keep him developing in that way, much like I would with Joe Gelhardt too. So yeah, I mean that's only one thing to look out for. Ex Ben saying, where do you think we'll finish now with all these new signings? That's in tomorrow's show, Ben. That's in tomorrow's show. Leeds Abroad is saying, even the highest level elite holding midfielders get battered by supporters. The things they do well are hard to track if you're not paying attention, and they are generally not flashy off the ball. Precisely, Leeds Abroad. It's absolutely right, and that's why when he's been caught out of position up the pitch, it does look bad, especially with the gaps that we leave, especially on our right-hand side. But, for me, when he does get it right, and he does get it right, his interceptions as well have been real quality as well. Let's not forget. So, listen, there's more to come. There's more to come. That's what I would say anyway. CB saying, KG, what are your thoughts on Christensen? I'm going to give him a second season, CB. I don't think he's been good, because even me, in my head, I'm thinking, who's the best one to play out of him and Ailing? And it should never have come to this. Should never have come to this. He should have made that place his own. I said it before, and it's not being horrible, but sometimes he just reminds me of Bambi on ice. He looks a little bit off kilt when he's tracking back defending, but and going forward, we haven't seen enough as well. We haven't seen enough of him going forward. So I would give him the rest of this season and then next season, see how it goes. But I would like to get in another right back in the summer. You know, if drama is to go back out on loan, sign a new deal, go out on loan, unless drama is the right back to come in. But yeah, he hasn't been overly convincing for me, CB. I think he's had a more poor performances than good ones, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Gary, you need to start mentioning that name. I don't even think that's a real person, Gary. I think it's a spoof. I mean, I blocked and muted that ages ago. So yeah, I think you might want to just like get that off your Twitter like timeline. uh, Yeah, Sean is saying Ailing better than him at the minute by far. The thing is, Sean, it's a coin flip because going forward, I would say Ailing has been much better than Rasmus. I mean, it's not hard, but he's been better. But you've seen when Ailing plays, we leave a massive hole at right back. And the amount of times I've seen Rucker, Adams shout at this guy for being out of position, lost count of it. So it's like a yin yang. We've got like two right backs that are it's like a coin flip of who's going to play today, isn't it? But I'd still go with Christensen just for the defensive works. I think that's more important, and we can let our offensive players cook. But yeah, Ailing has been much better than Christensen going forward for sure. Uh, is David Carter saying Creswell permanent at Stoke? Is that right? Um, Let me just have a look. Just checking this. While I'm checking this, please hit the like on the video. Best way to help out the channel. Oh, bless my bloody thing on. Silly me. All right, here we go. No, I haven't seen anything about it being permanent, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But listen, if it let's just say it is permanent, I don't think it will be. I think it would be a loan. But if it is, it obviously means that Leeds are doing what they've done in this month and just saying this guy's probably not going to make the grade. Let's let him go and move on. And I'm not mad at that. I do think Charlie Creswell will be a good defender, but if the Leeds board and coaches think that he's not going to be at the level required for where we want to go, then you have to accept that. Rich P is asking, KG, what do you think the issue is with drama, inexperience, or attitude? Well, first of all, Rich P, it's not an attitude problem, and I can tell you that for a fact from people close to him that work at the club. It has nothing to do with his attitude. It's just that he wants to play football. Much like Joe Gilhart. Listen, we don't hear nothing about Joe Gilhart's attitude, and he's been highly rated and not played under two coaches. We never hear nothing about Joe Gilhart's attitude, and he's out on loan. It's all about just wanting to play football for Cody, and that's what it was when he came back, when he went under Bielsa. You know, when he came back, Jesse Marshall said he didn't know if Leeds was going to be the right club for him, but it's because he wants to play football, and that's the only reason why he's gone back out on loan. Nothing to do with any attitude issues. Just wants to get first team football in. And you listen, and if you really think about it as well, by the way, when you're looking at Ailing and Christensen overall this year, and you're Cody Drama, you must be thinking, man, surely I'd have been good for a couple starts here or there. So you can understand why he's gone back out. But listen, we'll see what comes in the summer. If he's going to be here or if Leeds decide to cash in, because again, he's going to have 12 months left on his deal. Lodi is saying, Lodi is asking, KG, if everyone's fit, who do you play at left back? At the moment, I would play Pascal Strack, but again, it depends on the game. If we're at home against a lesser team, maybe Firpo could be better in an attacking sense. But yeah, for me, Strack will stay at left back. James saying loads of fans don't like Drama because of when Bielsa outed him before he got the sack. Yeah, but a lot of people as well, James, don't realize that was unlike Bielsa. He never did that before, but you know the pressure gets to everybody eventually. Not only did he do it to Cody Drama, he did it to Somerville too. You know what I mean? So listen, he didn't do it to Samu Saiz when Samu just wanted to go back to Spain, and yeah, he was under pressure and he could feel it. He could feel it, couldn't he? So yeah, it was unlike him. But unfortunately, because he is like a a god to many people. Whatever he says goes. But the decision was right. He bought out of Cardiff. You know, he was right to go. Uh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's just go through some more of your comments just before I exit this thing. Bob Teeth saying, I think it's a good thing our young English players want to play now. Yeah, it's good for any youngster. You know, the under 21s are a good measurement for certain things, but you want to play regular first team men's football. That's the aim of the game. And for these guys, they want to show what they're about and they want to do it at the highest level. I've got no issue with that. Nobody should. If they're not playing here, let them play elsewhere. They're still on our books. They're still our players. Oh, Lodi, no, no, no. Lodi is saying he played Dallas. Oh dear. You know what? I think people forget just how bad Stuart Dallas was at both left and right back last season. He was a nightmare. He was a nightmare. But you know, long-term injuries and the sentimental memories of what he did, he was outstanding for us in our crowdless season. He wasn't good last year, man. Poor. But we listen. We don't know. We don't know what condition Dallas is going to be in. And I get this question a lot about Stuart Dallas. And at the moment, he is purely a bench player. I mean, where does this guy come in? But we don't know what condition he's in. He's not if he's recovered from that old injury that he had against Grealish. He's had another little operation since. We don't know what kind of condition he's in. And for me, he was already on the decline when he got injured. So yeah, I mean, Lewis, come on. Cruel, cruel. Lewis is saying Dallas with one leg better than Firpo. Oh, that's harsh. That's so harsh. Yeah, Ian Ward saying love Dallas, but at best he's a squad player. Yeah, I think, like I say, I think a few more changes in the summer are coming, and I think a couple more of the old guard will be exiting. And it's exciting for me. This is what we've needed. This is what it's all about. This is what I've been begging for at least 2 years. It's been overdue. And listen, for me, Dallas was good as a squad player before, but at left right back last season, nah. Horrible, horrible performances last year. But it was much easier to scapegoat Firpo and everyone else like that, Dan James, because you know Dallas was part of the promoted squad. But this is what we do on here, people. We tell the truth, okay, objectively. And I love Stuart Dallas. I love Stuart Dallas, man. So Corbin saying in regards to Dallas, I don't think he plays the season at all, even if he's up to speed. Yeah, I just don't see where he fits in now. I really don't. I'm just going to have a look quickly if there's anything else. I mean, we're 10 minutes to 9 as I do this. 2 hours left of the transfer window. Like I say, I think that is it done for Leeds United now. I think that is it. You know, Arsenal signed Jorginho from Chelsea. And shout out to Brighton as well, by the way. Again, I mentioned it in yesterday's stream about smaller clubs not having to be bullied by big teams. Brighton just held their ground, said no, Moises is not going anywhere. Don't care about how many siblings he's got in his Instagram post. He's staying. He's staying. And you know that's the new age of football. There's a lot of things people can criticize, but that's a new age where a team like Brighton doesn't have to say to Arsenal, okay, we'll accept your 70 million offer. Bye. No, they're saying no, we're pushing for Europe this year. Come back in the summer. Love it. Lovely. Good stuff, man. Yorkshire. Okay, all right. Let me just check the Yorkshire Post. Somebody's saying that they've got something on Creswell. I've got to type it in. Don't follow the Yorkshire Post. Who is that? Is that yeah? It's Graham, isn't it? What's his name again? Graham what? Graham. Oh, it's Smith, isn't it? Yeah. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Uh, Jack saying why no prospect left back in though? Well, according to the DiMarzio reporter, and he's been very, very reliable, by the way, this month. He said that Leeds are happy with their defensive options. So that is it. I think I don't. That's what I mean. I don't think Leeds are doing anything else. So yeah, we're happy with our defensive options, and we're good to go for the rest of the season. William Morrison. TV money allows clubs to tell the Big Sis to go away, basically. And William, that's absolutely correct, and that's what I mean. It's a shame we missed out on that over the 16 years we're out, but that is the beauty of it. Of now, the Premier League, you don't have to sell to the big clubs now. They can't bully you anymore. You've got the money. You've got more than enough cash. Brighton have got more than enough cash now. They don't need 70 million right now, and they only spent 4 million on this guy. That's a good run of profit, isn't it? But they weren't interested, and good for them. Good for them. And that's why Arsenal had to go and get Jorginho from Chelsea for 12 million. Is that right? Stripper. Your name looks so much like stripper. All right, I'm going to try not to say that though. Last I seen Stoke wanted 4 million. Leeds said no. Yeah, 4 million. Nah, 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 nah. No, we got to do better with sales than that. Charlie Creswell is highly rated, so for me, 4 million is a no go. I wouldn't sell for 4 million. Either take the loan or get lost, basically. But hey, let's see what they're about. Let's see what they're about. But listen, I'm going to leave it there because I don't see anything else happening. If anything else does happen, we'll cover it in tomorrow's stream. I won't be back on tonight. I don't think anything major is going to happen. But listen, if the window does close the way it has, this has been a brilliant window. We'll rate it tomorrow. We'll all give our ratings tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. But this has been a superb window, and I cannot understate how good this window has been. We've gone from a team where you're just wondering where's the next result coming from to thinking, all these teams around us, we could probably beat them now. Not quite easily, but we've got more of a chance of beating them now than we did before. And that for me is a big improvement. Big improvement. So yeah, no, Mikey, I don't think that don't go to bed just yet thing. I mean, I just quickly, not without rating the window. People in the chat now, there's over 480 of you. Shout out to you. Give me your thoughts on the window without giving it a rating if you can. Paul Gray saying good window, very good. Yeah, because for me, I always say about the window as well. It's not just who you bring in; it's who you get rid of too. And getting rid of Click and Llorente for reasons that neither were Premier League quality or adaptable to the Premier League anymore is a result for me. Addition by subtraction is a big thing for me. Hey, I said no rating, Jack. Excellent window. Yeah, Mikey, very good. David, excellent. Yeah. So everyone is pretty steadfast on that, and that's a good thing to know. I'm going to ask a question tomorrow about what certain people thought in regards to where we'll finish as well, because a few people had us down for relegation, but we'll see if they still feel the same. And if you do, that is fair enough. Just let me know in the comments. Not on this one. We'll do that all tomorrow. Steve K saying window amazing for a change. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, listen, we'll end on this one, Sam John. Strongest window in years, ins and outs. Let's use this as a platform to build on. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better, Sam. But listen, people, I'm going to head off now. Hit the like before you go. Drop your comments below and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will see you tomorrow in the next stream. Peace out, people.